What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to World of Tanks. Today I am back with yet another news episode, news from the future. And in today's episode I am going to talk about some so-called leaked information about British medium tanks, changes to the British medium tanks with the upcoming patch 9.20. And yes, I said leaked information because even Wargaming is using that word on their own Facebook page. Super test leak British mediums. So British medium tanks, let's take a look what they are going to do to Centurion Mark 7.1, to the Centurion Action X and to the FE4202. That is going to be one super awesome premium tank after patch 9.20, I can tell you that right away. So let's get right into the news, as Keemstar would say. Those buffs to the British medium tanks are actually pretty damn massive, turret buffs. And I have to say, I really do not know how I feel about all those buffs. Yes, turrets on British medium tanks, they were not the best. They needed a little buff to be competitive to all the rest of the medium tanks. But I think Wargaming overdid it a little bit once again. They overbuffed those turrets, or at least they are thinking about doing that. Especially that FE4202, I believe that tank is going to eat a lot more premium rounds into the turret. And you know what premium rounds means in this game. It means more money and not into your pocket. But as always, you are going to be the judge, so let me know what you think about all those changes after watching this episode. Now, British medium tanks at the moment, they are decent at the best. They have really good gun elevation angles, really good gun depression, gun elevation, good view range, but unfortunately the turret isn't the strongest part of the tank. So if you have good gun depression, you would like to use those ridge lines, hull down positions where you can only show your turret, and if you are only going to show your turret, you are pretty much going to show the weakest part of your tank. Okay, let me show you something. Let me demonstrate to you what I am talking about. So this is Centurion 7.1, Mark 7.1 that we have in the game at the moment. You can see patch 9.19.1. This is the tank that you are able to play with at the moment on live server. So I was saying that if you are going to show your turret, you are showing the weakest part of your tank. So let's say you can hide your lower plate, which is of course the weakest part of your tank, but upper plate is 192 millimeters thick effective armor. I am talking about effective armor value over here. So around 100, yes, let's say 190 millimeters. But your turret, 156 next to the gun mantle. 156. On the top of the gun mantle, 152. So you have to be extremely unlucky not to penetrate Centurion 7.1 into the turret. And this is pretty crazy, guys. And on the top of the turret, under angle like this, my god. And of course Commander Hatch is a weak spot as well. But under angle like this, I believe you need a little bit bigger gun to overmatch that slope. But under angle like this, boom, easy penetration once again. So Centurion 7.1 at the moment is getting penetrated into the turret by almost every single gun that this tank can face. And this is bloody crazy. So now you know how bad the turret armor is on Centurion Mark 7.1, for example. Let's take a look what Wargaming is thinking about doing to this vehicle and to the Centurion Mark 1 as well. The same goes to the Centurion Mark 1's turret. Gun mantle is getting buffed a lot. Before it used to be from 140 to 170 millimeters thick effective armor, and this is what we were able to see from the tanks.gg 3D model as well. But after patch 9.20, Centurion Mark 1's and 7.1's gun mantle is going to be from 240 to 250 millimeters thick effective armor. Same goes to the frontal turret armor. Before it used to be from 140 to 160, and after patch 9.20 from 250 to 260. Crazy. Now turret roof, however, or I don't know how to call this area over here, frontal turret roof armor, is not getting buffed, as we were able to see from the picture. So you still have to stay under angle like this to get some bounces off. You can see result equals a ricochet because of the angle, of course. And your commander hatch is not getting buffed, but your commander hatch is not that huge of a target anyway. Enemy team has to be lucky to be able to hit it from the distance at least. So it is going to make those tanks a lot better in my opinion. Your frontal hull armor is already pretty decent, especially under angle like this, for example. You are still able to shoot that much down. And same story goes to the Centurion Action X as well, which has a lot better armor compared to the Centurion 7.1, for example, from the get-go. So at the moment it has from 200 to 240 millimeters of effective armor. Over here you can see, yes, starting from 200, around 200. And by the way, this tank doesn't have one huge gun mantle, so it is all turret over here, which is quite nicely sloped. But penetrating this area is fairly easy with starting from tier 8 guns up to tier 10 guns, of course. So you can see that this armor, yep, is not the best, and it is getting buffed a lot. So under angle like this at the moment, let's say this tank is working some ridge lines, upper plate 250, 200, 200, yes, 200, ricochet because of the angle. Boom, 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 turret ring. So always, you can always penetrate turret ring with tier 10 guns especially. And this tank has a little bit bigger commander hatch, so a little bit bigger weak spot on the top of the turret than Centurion 7.1, for example. But after patch 9.20, this armor is going to be a little bit better. So before, at the moment, it is from 200 to 240 millimeters of effective armor, turret, frontal turret armor I mean, and after patch 9.20 it is going to be from 240 to 270, and they are going to buff all of this area over here. So this tank is going to be a little bit better after patch 9.20. This tank's turret is going to be a little bit better. But I have to say I enjoy my Centurion Action X even at the moment, because it has 410 meters view range, it has really good gun in my opinion, 268 millimeters of penetration, 390 alpha damage, aiming time is 2.1 seconds, accuracy 0.32. I am talking about 100% crew accuracy without any equipment or boosters or crew skills. So this tank for me at the moment is already really awesome, with minus 10 degrees of gun depression as well and 20 degrees of gun elevation. So that was Centurion Action X. Now finally Wargaming is going to buff a tier 8 premium tank as well, FE4202. And if I am completely honest over here, I actually do not remember how many times this tank has been buffed since it was introduced as a tier 8 premium tank. It used to be regular tier 10 medium tank in the British tech tree, and by the way, you are going to see this tank in action on my channel as a tier 10 medium tank in my next World of Tanks from the past episode, so stay tuned for that. But I think they have buffed this tank at least 5 times. I remember different buffs to its mobility, to its speed in 3 batches in a row when they were rebalancing some of the premium tanks. This tank received some kind of buffs in 3 consecutive batches. But now they are going to buff its turret armor. On the top of that, they are going to buff its hull armor. And on the top of that, they are going to increase the engine power to 650 horsepower engine. At the moment, it has 510 horsepower engine. And this is why I said at the start of the episode that this tank is going to be one beast of a premium medium tank. So let's take a look what Wargaming is going to do to this vehicle. At the moment, FE4202 looks like this. We have some 130mm, 123.8mm of effective armor over here, 130, 190, 200, but over here next to the gun, 115. But after batch 9.20, this tank is going to be kind of a beast, I can say. turret armor before it used to be from 115 to 220, yes, as we saw from the 3D model, but after patch 9.20 from 240 to 270. Bloody amazing, from 240 to 270. So good luck trying to penetrate that turret with tier 8 vehicles. And frontal upper plate is also super weak at the moment, as we can see. At the moment it is up to 148, but after patch 9.20 up to 223. So yes, new FE4202 with better hull armor, frontal hull armor, with better frontal turret armor, with better engine power, up to 50 kph top speed, if I remember correctly. That has been buffed, I don't know, 10 times already. So yeah, if you do not have this tank at the moment, or if you have this tank at the moment, I think you should keep it, because it is going to be one of the top premium medium tanks in this game after patch 9.20 hits the live servers with all those changes over here. So yeah, interesting times ahead of us, guys. Centurion Mark 1, Centurion 7.1, Centurion Action X and FE4202 are going to be buffed a lot. Mega turret buff, I believe I can even call this episode, or massive turret buff. But now I believe I am done. As always, let me know what you think about all those buffs to the British medium tanks and to the FE4202. Is this tank going to be a little bit too strong, or are you happy with that buff? Engine power buff, hull armor buff and turret buff as well. So leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I thank you so much for tuning in. I catch you in my next episode, most likely tomorrow, but maybe not. We'll see. Take care and bye.